Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog series from Zero to Production. The vlog series where I just document my process in setting up my own production company. So from the very start, where I am right now, to either setting up a successful production company or failing at it. Either way, I thought it'd be a really interesting vlog series to do. Now in this episode, it's as you might tell by the title, it's going to be a different one, and as you can tell by the title, it's my decision and why I've decided to go with Final Cut Pro 10, or as a few people might call it Final Cut Pro X, and my reasoning behind all this. Now I really want to start as well to just go through my history in terms of editing. As I say, editing right now is one of my favourite parts of a production. I absolutely love it. Not always the case. So when I started media when I was at school, and the first bit of editing I ever used was probably with, like most people, Windows Movie Maker. Not really much to say about that, but moving on to college, we started using Avid Media Composer. Now at this time, Avid was the industry leader. It was the standard in the industry, especially in America. So we used that, and we was actually editing on tape, which I can't believe. 2010 doesn't seem that long ago, and we was using tape. But I never took to it, and I think it actually put me off editing. I used it when I did, but I avoided it when I could. But going on to university, there was no escaping editing, and so I had to learn. And the software that they provided was either Final Cut Pro 7 or Adobe Premiere. I'm not sure which version that would have been. But I used Final Cut Pro 7. That's what I essentially learned all my main bits of editing. I feel that's the program that turned me into a proper editor, and I absolutely adored it. And because I learned on Final Cut Pro 7, I was reluctant to go on and try Premiere. So for the first 2 years of, probably about a year and a half of being at university, I stuck with Final Cut Pro 7, and absolutely loved it. But we got halfway through university, and so I had to do more technical. Well, I would say technical. I had to start using After Effects for a number of reasons. Whether that we learned how to green screen on After Effects, title animations, effects, everything. And so because of that, I learned how to use Premiere, which was a big surprise for me because it wasn't as big of a jump from going to Avid, which I knew little about anyway, to Final Cut. It wasn't as difficult. It was quite an easy transition, and I stuck with it. And I actually I bought Avid on the Creative Cloud as I was a student as well. I got a significant discount, so I believe I was only paying £20 a month, I think, for the Creative Suite, so it came with everything. Now, I really enjoyed using it, and I used it right up until the end of university. And when I left university, like I said at the very first vlog, I sort of came off editing, filming, and whatnot. I did pick up it back up every now and then, doing daft things. I think I was editing some gameplay footage off a video game, and so I still used Adobe. Now I've got what I'm currently using, and I just want to clarify that I do know I am due for an upgrade in terms of my computer. I'm actually using a MacBook Pro, and it is, I believe it's the late 2011 series. So using Adobe Creative Cloud became not really suitable for my MacBook. It was really slow, frustrating. I could edit, but barely. So I switched back to Final Cut Pro 7. It run perfectly fine on my MacBook, and it was what I was used to. And then I stopped making videos and I stopped editing, and then since I've started this process again, I was using Final Cut Pro 7. Now, I knew I wouldn't be able to use Final Cut Pro 7 forever for a number of reasons. One, as far as I believe, if I'm incorrect on this, feel free to comment. But as far as I believe, there's a new Mac update, a new operating system. Now, this operating system, as far as I know, actually blocks Final Cut Pro 7. So, if I was to update my Mac, I would not be able to use Final Cut Pro 7. And another one is rendering. Now, I love it, but it became, I think I forgot anything that was above 10 minutes, how painful it was to edit sometimes, just because of the amount of rendering, the amount of time you are wasting editing, just sat staring at a screen, or you just, instead of editing, you're going off and getting a cup of coffee or something like that. It was ridiculous. And so this is what's led me to Final Cut Pro 10. Now, there was a temptation to go back to Adobe, but then I remembered, your Mac's probably not going to run it. So I went and I started looking, and I thought, it's a one-off payment for Final Cut Pro 10. But I was put off because when I was at university, I don't think Final Cut Pro 10 wasn't that long released. And when it came out, the industry was dead against it. I remember my tutors saying it was a glorified iMovie. And so I just avoided it. I never even tried it. Now, when I was at uni, I started uni 6 years ago. So, it's a very, very long time for a piece of software, and it, to have so many changes. But I've been practicing on it, and it is incredibly different to any other form of editing software. But I'm starting to get the hang of it now. And one thing that I'm absolutely adoring about Final Cut Pro 10 is the fact that my editing time has gone down at an amazing rate. Now, this is brilliant for me because I work full time. I'm trying to set up my own production company, and any time saved in the editing process is gonna save me in the long run. It means, I can move on to other projects quicker. I'm not essentially rushing myself to get a product finished before I start work again. So there's none of that, and it is actually pretty useful. And I think there's always going to be a debate now, because I know in terms of my country, I don't believe Avid's sort of fallen down the pecking order, and I think Avid's people, I think the only people that are really using Avid are people that really want to stick to it, or maybe companies that have invested so much into Avid that they don't want to invest into another editing program and retrain everyone. But by the looks of it, especially on the internet, it seems like it's a 50-50 between Final Cut Pro 10 and Premiere. And I'm probably way off because there's so many more editing programs. But and personally, I'm using them both, and I've used Premiere longer than Final Cut Pro 10. But personally, for me, I think Final Cut Pro is the way to go. It's one payment of £300, and like I said earlier, it's going to make me a faster editor. Part of me does want to look at potentially going back to Adobe once I've upgraded my machine. The only thing that's stopping me is when I was at university, I was paying £20 a month for the Creative Suite. I would now actually be paying £50 for the Creative Suite. However, it would come with literally everything. You know, one thing I have noticed about Final Cut, it hasn't got a brilliant editing, an audio editing section. Not from what I found anywhere. However, the Creative Suite has got a separate program for it. So I'm still juggling what I'll use in the future, but for now, everything is going to be Final Cut Pro 10. And like I say, I'm more impressed than I thought I would be. So yeah, that's going to be it for this vlog. If you've watched to the end, thank you for enjoying it, for going through my rambling. Remember to like all my social media pages. There'll be a link at the end of the video. And yes, also please subscribe. I am looking to get my subscriptions up, and it would be a big massive help. But thank you very much for watching.